This morning I wanted to come to you guys and talk to you about the topic of radical personal responsibility when it comes to your income growth. And this again ties into personal growth. I firmly believe, as I said earlier, that success is an inside job. I love the quote by Dolly Parton that says, if instructions worked, we'd all be rich and thin. And I truly believe that everything in our lives, and it's not just my belief, it's actual, a universal truth, that everything in our life we've created. Whether we want it or not, on a conscious level, on some level, we have wanted it. And that's why we have it. Because if we didn't want it, we wouldn't have it. It's as simple as that. Now, there's things, that we think about that we maybe want more than something we think we want, or there's things that happen around us that maybe we don't feel powerful enough to handle or to manage. But the truth is, while we can't control what happens around us, we can always control what happens within us and how we choose to respond to those situations. And when we get to the point that we take, and I call it radical personal responsibility, because that's where you get up every day and you make the commitment to yourself that you are fully in control of every experience you're having in your life, and asking yourself, how did you create that? Whether it's an illness, a bad business partnership, a client who doesn't pay, or you're making great money, or you're having everything you want. The thing is, you create everything in your life. And sometimes when we say, I can't do this because, we're giving powers to reasons outside of ourselves. And the truth of that is that we're choosing to let those reasons be stronger than us in that moment. I put a post on my personal page the other day. If you haven't seen it, it's a public post, so you can go find it, where I spoke to someone this week, and one of the things she said to me later through an email is she didn't think what I said was very nice. And that's the truth. It wasn't very nice. However, there was no malicious intent. There was nothing unkind. It was true. And this is somebody who's been stuck in the same spot for years and years and years and years and just refuses to take action. And so I, as a champion for her, as somebody who showed up for me, I did have a loving, kind, and firm conversation with her about it. And sometimes the truth stings. Now, in this case, and I've had people do that to me, right? Goodness, when I work with my mentor, sometimes the stuff that the truth he makes me face about myself is very, very uncomfortable. But that's where the growth lies, right? That's where the magic lies, because we can only grow our income. We can only grow our business as much as we're willing to grow ourselves. Oh, I see we've got some comments here. Awesome. Thank you. Oh, we've got a few other people joining us. Yes, thank you guys. I get so dyslexic with watching all this. Anyways, we can only grow our business to the extent we grow ourselves. So if we ever get into blame mode, and this is where it gets really important to think about, how are we showing up in our business? Are we willing to say that, I'm choosing to create sales, or I'm choosing to create a lack of sales, or I'm choosing to have all these wonderful experiences, or I'm choosing to have not so great experiences. And this is where the personal growth comes in, because when you're willing to go there, and like I was saying earlier, it's not necessarily that comfortable to look at yourself in the mirror. And one of the things that my mentor also says a lot is, the degree to which a person can grow is really tied into how much truth they can face about themselves without running away. And that's when you can do that, and you can say, wow, this is how I show up, or this is what I do, and it's not working for me, or this part of it is, so I'm going to do more of that, but this isn't, so I'm going to stop doing that. That's when the magic can really happen for us. And where people sometimes struggle is when they get into blame mode, or they get into it's outside of my control. The thing is, everything in your life, what you got to remember, represents something you wanted. Because today is not about today, right? Everything that you have today is about what you did yesterday and the day before and the day before and everything that led up to it. So, I might say that I want to be 30 pounds lighter, but the truth is, I really wanted those chips and cheesies and whatever I might have had that wasn't good for me at the time, or that chocolate cake, because at that time, I wanted it more in that moment than I wanted the end result. And so when you look at your life or your business, maybe there's something you wanted more. Maybe you wanted someone's approval more, or you wanted to feel safe, or you didn't want someone to be upset. You wanted them to like you, so you didn't offer a sales conversation. When you can look at it from that aspect and go, what did I want more than what I said I actually want. And when you look at it that way, it's like, did I really want that more? Did I really want that more? But in that moment, that's what felt comfortable. And that's where the personal growth comes in, and the personal responsibility comes in, to go back and say, yeah, I created this because I didn't pick up the phone and make sales calls. Okay, there's my dog coughing. I'm sorry about that. I didn't pick up the phone and make sales calls because it was not comfortable for me. So, or I thought people were going to say no, or I thought I was going to be bothering them. Whatever comes up, right? But then ask yourself, okay, so what was it that you wanted more in that time? You probably didn't want to feel rejected, or you didn't want to feel that you were bothering somebody, or you didn't want to feel unloved, or you didn't want to feel unworthy, or you didn't want to hear no. So in those moments, what you wanted was far greater than the end was. What you wanted in that moment was far greater in that moment than the end result that you say you wanted. And I've noticed sometimes, like, it's really interesting when I look on my Facebook feed and I see people get blamey, right? And, they're mad at Facebook, or they're mad at something else going on in the world, or they're mad, and, we've seen this in the last few elections, they're mad because the government hasn't done enough for them. And nowhere in that are they saying, like, hey, maybe my content's really not that interesting, and that's why Facebook isn't showing it, because I'm not creating engagement. Or maybe, it's not the government's job to take care of me. And yeah, there's a problem out there, but what can I do in my own world to make my life better? If somebody hasn't given you business, is it really their fault, or is it yours? So when we can take this approach of radical responsibility and realize that we're creating everything, it's actually, and this isn't a lecture, because this is where it gets so powerful, because when you accept complete responsibility as the 100% creator in your life, like, what opens up for you, right? Like, you can create anything you want when you realize that, and go, if you feel like you're stuck in a job that you just can't get out of because it's paying the bills and you can't see past that, and you're saying, I'm not pursuing my dream because I can't, because I can't. What you're saying in that moment, if you take personal radical responsibility, is, I don't know how, I want the safety, all these other things. But what if you flip that around? What if you realize you've created this exact situation you have right now, this exact situation that's made you safe? If you've done it once, you can do it again. And you see, that's where it becomes transformational, because then you start to realize just how powerful you actually are when you step outside of the blame, or you step outside of the circumstances and realize that you create everything in your life. If you're attracting the wrong kind of clients, truth is, you're attracting them. What are you putting out there? What's in your messaging that's attracting the wrong people to you? What are you doing that's maybe not getting the traction that you need, right? So do you see how this kind of works, right? And it's not always fun. Like I said, it can be really, really uncomfortable to face some of these truths. I mean, that's why I love working with horses a lot, because when you're with a horse, you can't lie. You got to show up, and you have to take accountability, or you could actually die if the horse isn't listening to you, right? It's such a great metaphor for entrepreneurship. And so we want to take, and we're obviously not going to die in our business, but every choice we make is creating our future, and every choice we've made in the past has created what we've done right now. So, and sometimes there's not necessarily anything wrong with what we chose, right? Like I said, this isn't a lecture. Sometimes we've chosen to have a family, or we've chosen to live somewhere, or we've chosen to work somewhere. And those are things we really, really wanted for ourselves. And now maybe they've got us feeling trapped later, but that doesn't mean there's anything wrong with that decision, right? And when you can take that leap and realize, okay, I created everything I wanted, and it's not working right now, what do I have to change so that I can keep creating what I wanted? And when you look at the things that aren't working in your life, this is your homework for today on today's morning meeting, is when you look at the things that aren't working in your life, whether that's, I'm going to totally put myself out there. For me, what is not working right now is my weight, right? It's just not working. But what is it for you? I mean, maybe it's the same as me, or maybe you don't have the business you want, or you're not attracting clients, or you're not making the money you want, or you're feeling that your business isn't providing what you need. Whatever that is, I want you to go back and look at what led you to this point, and look at all the decisions you made. And don't look at them from a self-critical eye or a judgmental eye. Look at them from an eye of, like, I'm a damn powerful person, and I did a really good job of creating something I didn't want, So how can I create what I do want? And in those things that I chose, what was I wanting more in that moment, right? And this is really going to open up a lot of things for you. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. And, this is one thing, again, that, when I work with my clients, and I would love to invite you to have a conversation with me if you're struggling with this in any way, shape, or form. We talk about personal responsibility. As their coach, I always tell them, right? Like, I liken it to physical fitness, right? Like a fitness trainer can show you how to do the perfect push-up. They can research it and get all kinds of information for you. They can coach you through it. They can champion you through it. They can get down on the floor beside you to walk you through it. But at the end of the day, the only person that can do your push-ups is you. And when you take that level of responsibility into your business and to your life for every single thing, it's amazing. And that's what I tell my clients all the time, right? Like, I can be your champion, I can help you, I can coach you, but you still have to take action. You still have to move forward. I can't control that. You have to want it. And the one thing I can't give you is desire. So it's, one of my clients once said to me, she goes, man, the first 6 months of this, some of it's been so ugly, but it's been really transformational because she's stepped out the other side. She's realized what a creator she is and how powerful she is, and she's doing amazing things. It wasn't easy getting there because she had to face, why things weren't working and realizing what the decisions were that got her to that place. And then look at those decisions as something powerful because you can flip that around. So that's your homework for today. I'd love to hear your comments. Have a great day. Bye.